So hello friends, today we will be studying about the cell-mediated immunity. In the last lecture series of immunology, we have studied how the immune system works and also what are the T cells and B cells. And today we will study about the T cells in a much more detailed overview. As we know that T cells are very much important in cell-mediated immunity as they help in cross-talking with other immune cells and also reaches out for activation of B cells, which are also a part of humoral immune system. So indirectly the T cell is helping the B cells in making antibodies, and thus they are helping the humoral immunity to get activated. So to start with, when an antigen comes and enters the body of the organism, the macrophages or the dendritic cells comes into act. They are the antigen presenting cell. They will not only engulf the antigen, but they will also breaks them into very minute quantities and they will display the antigen to the T cell. So this is the antigen that is displayed by this macrophage with the help of antigen presenting cell. Now the T cells, with the help of T cell receptors that is present in the surface of T cell, it can interact with this macrophage. Okay, with this macrophage that is presenting the antigen with the help of MHC2, major histocompatibility complex 2. Okay, the T cell and the macrophage can now crosstalk with each other. So what happens? The crosstalk is with the help of some chemicals, okay, known as cytokines. So there are some different types of cytokines present. They are interleukin 1, interleukin 12, interferon gamma, interleukin 4 and 5, etc. So when the macrophage and the T cell will find a proper interaction, they will find an antigen that the macrophage starts to release, and the cytokines that comes in act is the interleukin 12, which will come. It will go and act on the T helper cells. So the interleukin 12 will go and it will act on the T helper cell, which will act on the T helper cell will now start secreting many different types of cytokines due to activation by interleukin 12. So interleukin 2 and another type of cytokine will be released by T helper cell, which will act on itself. It actually acts as an autocrine signaling, and this autocrine signaling will act as a paracrine signaling that will go and tell other cells of the immune system like natural killer cells to get activated. This helps in the proliferation of more T cells. Okay. And those T cells that are proliferated are actually naive T cells that doesn't have any functionalities. So another type of cytokine produced by T cells is interleukin 1, which will help the naive T cells to get destined to different activities by forming them into helper T cells. Okay. The purpose of interleukin 1 is to help naive T cells to get destined to do different activities. Okay. There are some other chemicals which will also get secreted by the T cell. That is interferon gamma, which will also act on the macrophage of the dendritic cell. So there are different types of interaction going on, which will form as a signal to the macrophage to engage more and more macrophage cell or the dendritic cell. The interferon gamma will act on many other type of cell and will also secrete interleukin 4, interleukin 5, like that. So different types of macrophage cells are produced with the help of interferon gamma, and finally the interferon gamma will produce interleukin 4 and 5. So this will help to signal the B cells. Okay, this interleukin 4 and 5 will signal the B cell to mature into plasma cells. Plasma cells are the antibody secreting cells. So ultimately you can see here that the B cell that is getting activated is due to the T cells, and that T cell is activated due to different types of chemicals. So ultimately it is helping the humoral immunity or the antibody mediated immunity. So these plasma cells are the antibody secreting cells, right? This antibody then indirectly activates the complement system, right? So the complement system will act like creating pores in the membranes for helping the complement fixation process. So you see here that the interaction between T cells and macrophage triggers many different types of reaction that activates both the cell mediated and also the humoral mediated immunity. So this is how the cell mediated immunity works. So this is just an overview of the cell mediated immunity and how the different types of immune cell response to the pathogen and come together with the help of different types of interaction and responses. So with this I end my video here, but in the next video we'll study in much more detail about all this interaction, like the B cells, like the T cells activation, and also the different cytokines that are produced, okay, differentiation of the T cells. So I hope you like this video. If you like my video, please subscribe to my channel and also share with your friends. Thank you.